Welcome, my friends, back to the channel. Today we will be looking at the speaker kit that I was building. A couple of my last videos will have showcased some of the work that I was doing on the speaker kit, including picking it up, mapping out all the parts, getting myself familiar with what I needed to do in terms of build, planning, things like that. And then to end this video, we will just be browsing some newly released music on a playlist. So if you want to stick around till the end for about 30 minutes ish, then we'll browse through those songs as quickly as possible. But to start off this session, I see the True Voice of Reason's here already. That's amazing. What's going on, my man? Yes, I do want to bring on the I want to showcase a little bit about how I've been the progress in terms of what I've been doing with the cabinets. I will get an up close shot. I'm going to use my other camera and then walk behind me so you can see exactly how much is going on. I don't know how I'm going to manage the sound. So if there's some echoes or whatnot, then um, there we go. Pixel Castle's here too. What's up? How are you fellas doing on a Saturday? So yes, so this is the painted portion of it. I posted some of the stuff in the Discord. So for everybody else who's not in the Discord, this is kind of what I've been up to. I did showcase that I have them on these stands, which are for my light stands. I would normally be using it today for my live, but I've had to use something else. So those are holding the cabinets up and they're in the living room, but I didn't paint them in the living room. I just used the stands to prop them up, and I painted them in gloss, which wasn't the plan because Amazon delivered the wrong product. And I didn't realize it was the wrong product until I went to use it. And then I looked at the finish type on the can, and it said that it was gloss instead of primer or flat, which is what I ordered, flat black. Turned out it didn't really matter anyways, because as you will see, I went ahead and I've speckle painted them. And so this is like a mock granite kind of textured finish. You can see that it's very textured on the side when it's wet, almost like stucco, but not quite as sharp. There are white speckles that are mixed into the paint. So you'll see there's white dots on the front panel there. And no, it's not a Duratex paint. It's not plastic. This is some other form of I don't have it with me now. I did take a photo of it for somebody that asked. So yeah, it is a raised texture. You can see I didn't exactly sand the cabinets down to perfect smoothness. I didn't have Bondo or gap filler, which is something that I will have to figure out how to do next time. Maybe maybe I can mix some like paint and sawdust, which I don't really have, to try and finish that gap. But this is the first layer of paint. So this is just the first rough layer of the speckled paint. You can see there's still some layers there, or some lines that you can see, not quite as smooth as I would want it to be. But again, that was the first coat, but that's where I'm at right now. The cabinets have been together. They are painted. So let me bring on, I'm going to bring on myself. This is the first time I'm trying this stuff. So I'm going to load in on my own phone here and maybe talk through the phone. Let me see. I'm going to mute this mic. Let me enter the studio.
That's how that works.
So I'm going to mute the other mic. That way you can't hear this mic. But then if I move around, I need to switch mics. So that's what I'm going to do now. So you guys bear with me. I'm going to switch mics.
And there we go.
Well, I'm actually listening to myself on the other system. So how about I do that? Is there still echoing? Shouldn't be. That's really interesting. Let me just quickly get to it then. So this is the second coat. I think it's much smoother. More uniform. See, there's not as much of a hard edge there. Anyways. Said that was an interesting experiment. I'll remove myself from the studio. Yeah, if anybody's here watching that, you want to give some feedback on that process. That's the first time I've actually tried that using multiple cameras. I know it was echoing for a little bit there. I don't know if it got better or worse, but hopefully the visuals are good enough to showcase some of the process that I've been undergoing here. Gonna bring in what I intended to do, which was some of the music. Adjust the volume. Okay, everything else there is okay. But yeah, the main point of the video was just to come on here really quickly, talk a little bit about the kit and my experience with the kit. Originally, or initially, when I started building the kit, it was a little rough. My learning curve for building the kit was unanticipated. I didn't really know what to expect. I figured, like, I've done some woodworking before. I've worked with soldering before, so I know a little bit about what I was getting into as far as that's concerned. I did buy some extra materials like some wood clamps I prepared a table for me to work on. I knew that I was going to need glue. So I bought some of these extra things in order to put a kit together because I ordered the kit of parts and the flat pack to go along with it. So it's a pair of woofers. This is the SB Acoustics woofer you see here on the bottom. It's a plastic basket, which is fine because it's, $40. Pretty decent paper cone driver. I think it's about 85 dB sensitivity. It's well made. It's a good brand. They make fairly decent quality. And to be honest, as long as the drivers are half decent, it's more about the cabinet and how they're crossed over and tuned in a cabinet. If you want to get a lot of bass out of certain things, I mean, if I put 10 of these in a cabinet, it would produce bass, maybe not very low, but it would produce bass. That's not really the significance of it. The design of the cabinet, the tuning, all that kind of thing, that's more important overall. Here is the SB Acoustics tweeter. Pretty good. I think this is a 3/4 inch dome. So it's a pretty small, yeah, it's 19 millimeter, which is 3/4 of an inch. I'm looking forward to hearing how they sound all put together. I tested them a little bit with the crossover finished, made sure that the crossover was working properly. I need to make sure that my polarity is correct because there's one small mistake on the drawing that I overlooked. So it was soldered before I realized it. And instead of just resoldering it, I'm going to invert the polarity on the terminal. So that way the positive is through the component loop and the negative is just straight back to the amp, the way that the diagram is designed. The way that they're connected is positive through the loop, negative in the return. It's not kind of looped the other way around. All the other points are connected a certain way. Now, I don't know if that makes a difference with electrical polarity or not. They're essentially all connected one way or the other, so I have no idea. I'm just going to make sure that the current flow and the connectivity positive negative is exactly the way it's supposed to be rather than the way that it is wired. So when I connect the terminals, I'm just going to flip them because it's just a color coded on the back of the cabinet, and then once it's in the box, nobody's ever going to know or see that again. So that was the only thing that I found that was a little bit off. Do appreciate the feedback. They're pretty good drivers. It's a good quality brand. It is their basic entry or smaller level. It's not the Satori level, which is a higher level product. I wouldn't mind building something with that, but to be honest, I'm going to need a lot of help. I have some ideas. I would love to put more stuff together, but I need help in the cabinet respect because I don't have space to do my own stuff. And I have designs in my mind that I can't do on my own. So I'm going to have to pay someone to do the cabinets. The crossover I can learn. I mean, there's a couple of programs that I can walk through with some people, maybe get some more hands-on experience in my local area with DIY makers. That way I can go and like test components and try and swap them out. And before I make my decision, I can tune the crossover to however my design or my desired cabinet design works with the drivers that I select. There's a lot of R&D that goes into actually making this stuff work, not just selecting everything based on specs. Of course, we want to know that it sounds good. So before I do any of that, I'll see how this kit goes. I think the finish is going to be nice. It's going to look very different from everything else that I have. All my other speakers are basically white or light colored cabinets. Even my Kanto speakers are white. These ones I decided to go black. And I may choose to go with black finish speakers beyond this point as well. Now, it's not to say that I'm abandoning the idea of white in my space. I mean, even the cups and glasses I have are white. It's a staple theme that I have. But if I'm honest and I'm looking at the scope of possibilities in the hi-fi range, I think black is still more popular than white in most spaces. So I might have to explore some options there. Anyhow, let's bring us to this point. Let's listen to some music here. This is Release Radar that just went out this last Friday. I'm gonna have the volume down about halfway just to start with. You guys let me know how it sounds if I need to turn it down, whatnot. The first part of this video that's only been about 14 minutes, I'll probably clip that and make it its own clip because these videos do get demonetized based on the sounds that I'm using, but I want to entertain my guests and viewers live in a live show. And that's why I'm doing this. And I've been making extra clips of live sessions because the clips actually reach a more of an audience. And I do live so we can have these interactions here rather than just being a talking head video, which I find is extremely boring. Even watching my friends do videos, like I watched Nemo earlier reviewing SVS, and Jay released his video talking to Arundel Sound. I find myself when I'm sitting there just listening to conversations that I don't have the patience to just listen to it straight through. So I'm trying to keep my content a little more live, a little more like unsuspecting so people don't know what's about to happen next. And chapters. That's another thing that I find valuable about editing forward. So True Voice of Reason says the thing about crossovers, the main components are non-polarized, which is true. So the only polarity in the input of in the drivers, yes. So everything else through the chain would be, but here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, all the components may be non-polarized, so they could be on either rail. Now it makes me wonder why they're always in that one side. Like they're always connected through the positive side, and then the negative is usually doesn't have those components. You know what I mean? Like if it's if it's, what is it, a resistor that's series through the or parallel through, no, series through the terminal, and then others like capacitors are parallel through the and it's reversed in depending on what they're doing. So why I always see the diagrams always where the components are through the positive side, never through the negative. Like the negative doesn't have any devices or components wired through it. And then the negative is just through ground. Maybe that's because some people use like the board and SMT and all that stuff to wire the components on that way. And then the negative side of the terminals is just a solid trace or through the chassis, in which case you can't wire that way. Is that maybe why? I have no idea. I mean, there's got to be some sort of a practical reason why, especially if you're saying the components are non-polarized, other than diodes, but you don't use those in speakers unless it's an LED, but that's a different circuit. Just interesting sort of like learning curve I'm on here. So I wanted to try the HiFi Swan speaker kit from Amazon 3-way. Yeah, and I mean that's a pretty good option too, where it delivers everything that you need to put it together is there. The components basically, if you have a way to glue everything together safely, like clamps is a definite thing that I would recommend, enough of them, because to get a solid bond with all the pieces, you need to make sure of that. Also making sure they're all straight and they fit together. Like with mine, I didn't bondo the gaps, I didn't sand them all smooth and level. So there are little sort of variations in the way that the cabinet fit together. I made sure that they were fully glued, but they're not straight and true. So that was one of the flaws that went into my cabinets. The only thing I could do to fix that was try to sand down the unevenness or paint over it, is what I opted to do. But I'll learn. I mean, this is the first sort of time, so we'll learn as we go. Let's jump into release radar here at the last part of this video. And like I said, I will clip the first part for its own video, and then we'll start over for here. So, hey, this is the release radar section. Just put a quick edit in there, and let's just go through these about 30 seconds of each, and we'll scroll through it quickly and be about our day. This one starts off pretty light. So fine print. Also, I mentioned a number of times an artist that I found on Facebook that does AI art. This is probably an AI song. It's not bad. I actually like this down tempo sound more so than the other stuff. So I'm gonna have to let him know that. That's pretty cool. Kasran Ways, this is going to be drum and bass based on these artists. And hopefully it's not too loud for anybody. Anybody has any kind of like feedback on volume and dynamics, let me know how it sounds out there. And then for those who have joined in a little bit later, find the video later into this live session. The first part was all talking about the kits and the paint. This will be the music section, and we'll round off the live session this way. Oh. That gets added immediately. Yeah, that's that's my favorite kind of jam right there. A lot of energy, a lot of sound texture. Let's hear this one. This is Kasra also. This one's Onyx. Also, I want to mention, if you guys see the way that this is spelled, Onyx, like the material, like the last word or the last part of the name on my channel here, you see that I have Siphonics is spelled onyx, like the material. That's on purpose. If you know, onyx is a black stone. Onyx is supposed to represent the black background in our audio spectrum. Phonics itself includes the onyx, which is a clever way for me to philosophize the idea that the silence of a background is the only thing that gives us the dynamics. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a reference. It's just like good, bad, up, down. You have a reference point. So that's why it's spelled phonics that way. I don't know if I've explained this before. And obviously, psi at the beginning relates to psychology or psyche and of the mind, which all sound and listening is subjective. So now I have a history of my namesake. Kasra is really good at sound dynamics and sound design.
Here forever.
Yeah, I like this one too. Some dirty subwoofer music right there. I mean, I'm playing on the Bucard E50s here, and I could feel that one, even though I've got the sound down because I don't want the echo coming through the microphone. But wow, that was pretty cool. Move on here. AES Dana. I'm not really sure what this is. Let's push it to 30 seconds. Minute 30. 2:30. Sounds very down-tempo atmospheric sound. Let's move on from that. Jazzy bass. Thanks again for my regulars that join me live. I do appreciate it. Otherwise, I'd be sitting at home talking to myself. This is what I do for human interaction. My outlet to the world is through the internet. Be mad here with some cool bass lines. Let's move it down a bit. Two friends, Tyler Braden, Lindsey Sterling, the violinist.
You're something like a western wind, just hit me out of nowhere. Like a left foot across the chin, and I can only hope there's more where that came from. Girl, you're one of one. You're something like a dream I had, and maybe we could go there. Oh, that song will come up way too soon. So baby, hold on tight. If this ain't forever, then let's do this right. Make some midnight memories, just you and I. Ain't
Interesting sound.
Where tomorrow goes, God only knows. So honey, hold that thought. If we got one thing left to lose, then let's get.
Not bad. I'm not going to wait for the chorus though. This is a song by Emmy, which is a very energetic, eclectic artist. And I found her on Instagram and Facebook as well. But somebody who actually sings and produces the songs, not AI.
In the middle of an emergency, my therapist went on maternity leave, so I'm out here talking life, and it's not going well for me. I buried grandma Sarah Bones, hid my tears for 40 shows. Instead of dialing 911, I lit a match to my own nose.
I like this phrase here. True Voice of Reason says, talking to yourself, at least you're assured to have an intelligent conversation. Yeah, I guess so. It's not quite the same. Sometimes I don't mind the navigating around certain conversations. Hanging out with friends is the thing that I miss the most about my life right now, where there's not very many people around me that are that I can go and see easily, and then that's been harder to do because of certain diet and like bodily problems. So hopefully that'll be getting easier now that I've got a number of specialists helping me out. But I definitely understand the idea of having intelligent conversation, how important it is for everyone too.
Heartbreak is a part of life.
And what's the point?
Cross my heart, I hope it dies. Don't tell me that.
Let's switch it up. Anyway, this is Sadak 2.0. The name comes from Eminem and Lil Wayne.
हैशटैग सड़क एमवे बनता है हाँ, मालूम है ना नहीं मालूम है तो सुन
1.2 million
मैदान में हरे टच है जैसे युवराज हमरुला के भेजे पेड़े खर्चा पानी दे रहा सारे रैपर को हवे में बैठे जो माइक पे चिल्ला रहे मेरे झूठ रिकॉर्ड पे खाली थे फिल्म वाली दुआरे के किलम करके बैठ तेरा खाली वे बन रहा तुझे वे बचकाने बच्चों में खेल जाके बेब्लेड तू क्या करता माइक में तू रैप करता बैक करू पैक बॉडी बैक में बेड़ा दम करके नाक में तेरे बात में कोई बात नहीं जब बाद में आप बाद में हराएंगे मुझे बेटा ये भरा मैं खुदा का दिया करा मैं कला दिखा रहा कला मैं गला दिलों का मला मैं आंखों में तेरे जलन है क्योंकि मैं 12 साल से उस सीन में और आज भी हम गरम है हैशटैग सड़क एमवे बनता है हैशटैग सड़क ऑटो के साथ में हैशटैग सड़क तू तेरा देख मेरा एकदम कड़क.
Not my favorite, but it's certainly very interesting. I've noticed that's probably the first time I have ever heard very well executed recorded Indian. I'm not really sure what language exactly, but that was pretty cool. Hip hop like that is interesting. Mystic State Fele. This is going to be down tempo, calming music. Good sidebar to that last track. This is about it's 9 out of 29, and there's a couple that I'm going to skip because I know they're going to get muted. The Rolling Stones could be one of them. Hans Zimmer's another one. Go to a minute. Nice bass in this. Pretty cool song. So yeah, that was Mystic State and Fele. So I am going to skip the Rolling Stones. I am going to skip Hans Zimmer. I'm going to play a little bit of Pliny here. This is a solo guitarist project. I mean, he has a fantastic band, but from my perspective, he is the lead guitarist, soloist. Excellent quality progressive metal. Ooh, this is good. Oh yeah, need to hear this on the big system, that's for sure. So that's actually something that I should mention. I haven't actually been in to listen to the KEF system in my other room for a number of weeks. I mentioned it a little while ago. Like I haven't been to sit in there in another room and listen to that system since almost Montreal Audio Fest. I shut it down at that point and then came back and did some work. And then I had to travel out again for Expona and then came back and then did some work. And then since then, I've also been recovering from surgeries and now home on disability so I can listen at any time that I want. But I find that I'm in front of like YouTube and Netflix and watching content like video wise so much more and for longer periods of time that I'm not actually in the room listening to two-channel music as much as I probably could or should be. Just an interesting sort of change, but then also that's coupled to the fact that I did just get the Buchard Audio E50s as well, and the Monitor Audio Studio 89s have been in the space for a while, so I've been going back and forth in that regard. The kit speakers have kept me busy, so I've been busy doing that, and then what else did I have going on here? Oh yes, obviously the unboxing that happened recently where I also purchased the KEF R3 Metas because I was impressed with the demo I had earlier in the year, but they were not white, so I couldn't keep them. So I returned those other ones at the time. I was just borrowing them. And then recently did just buy the KEF R3 Metas for keeps because I'd like a variety of different sounds in here to compare speakers and price points, things like that. So that's three new higher priced bookshelves that I own. I think KEF being the least expensive, I'm not 100% sure about that. Studio 89s, the Monitor Studio 89s, which is like a platinum series level drivers, the mid-range woofer drivers, and the tweeter is a platinum speaker level AMT and cabinet design. So that's incredible. And then the Buchard E50 is the more expensive of all of them with Purify driver, the new tweeter that was designed for them, and the all wooden cabinet assembled and made in Denmark. Really incredible set of speakers. I mean, to be honest, it's some of the best passive spread of speakers you could probably get your hands on. Pending taste, of course. So I'll have a shootout with all of them eventually, but I'm not quite there yet. So I don't know. That's just to say, like, I haven't listened to the two-channel system in a while, and maybe I should get back to it. But for now, you know, I've got stuff to do and I've had appointments, things going on. So it's gonna be Hot Shot, Liquid Stranger, dubstep, I imagine.
Where you go, I don't know we got done. If I fight you, I look you better. Have a plan. Quarantine slap me, give you no bother rap. This one hot, this one shot, this one on the road. Go.
Oh my God. Yeah, some pretty classic Liquid Stranger right there. On that slow dubstep grind. Some of the bass that's included in some of those tracks is great. A lot of friends probably heard that as much at Scott and Kat's place on the weekend. They did Bass Brings Us Together festival, sort of festival, half event. They had 80 to 90 people show up for a demo of Scott's new system. So congrats to him again. That system is absolutely wild. 24-inch subs, equaling about 100,000 watts. I don't know if that's via the amp potential or the speaker capacity. I mean, watts is watts, but I don't know which numbers are combined to get 100,000, but I don't doubt it. Certainly the fuse panel and the electrical box into the house probably can't handle that all at once. But yeah, kudos to Scott. Great system. I'm sure that some of these dubstep songs just sound amazing in there. So this is Kolm, K-O-L-M, Symbiosis. Let's fast forward to 2 minutes. Interesting sort of like progressive metal kind of sound, like cool. I heard this song on one of my previous release radars. Actually, a lot of the bands in here sound similar. So True Voice of Reason says, to me, it seems that your two-channel system is a deliberate obligation. and yeah, because I'm not always in that room, because most of my observation, video, computer, communication, all that stuff, all of my convenient stuff is at my desk. So my home theater gets used every day because it's part of a secondary system in one room, and my desktop system gets used every day, hence 3 different bookshelf speakers, because I know I'm going to be in this position listening to those a lot. So yeah, the making specific or special time to spend with it in order to really enjoy it fully. So yeah, if I get a new album, a new recording, if a friend comes over, if I'm demoing new product, or if I get something different, then yes, you're right. And that's why a lot of people, including like Andrew Robinson has said this, and him being like the recovering audiophile, like having a secondary room where you go to listen to music as a purposeful event isn't as convenient as it sounds. I mean, it sounds great on paper because you can tune the room to however you want it most, but chances are you would get more time watching your TV with family or a home theater system with a 2-channel option attached than you would, like, that's that all in one room process that, like, I've got it here with my theater and my computer, but this doesn't have the same acoustics and comfortable as my 2-channel. So that's why I have 2 rooms. But absolutely, lately it's been more of an obligation thing because it takes a type of focused effort to go and do that. Not to say that I'm going to get rid of it. It's possible, but I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. It's just life has changed a little bit. So I'm spread out a little bit with different things at the moment. But that's definitely a fair observation. This is Wage War, Purify. Unironically, I just mentioned Purify drivers. It sounds like metal. Ooh, interesting time shift. I like this.
No guilt till the guilt falls. No shame till the gallows call. The streets will be filled with death as a gift. The weight of my will, no justice is left so.
Interesting sort of sound. Wage War. I'm not familiar with that band. Very short song too. It's only 2-3 minutes long. Interesting. So this next one, Simula, and now we're in the back half of these songs. We're just going to be sampling them for a couple minutes. Anybody that's just joining and hearing it. This one's Devious by Simula, probably drum and bass if I'm not mistaken. Interesting use of guitar distortion. Oh, subwoofer food. That's good. Interesting sort of sounds there from Simula. Seven Dust, there's a metal band that I haven't heard from in a long time. So this is Construct from the One album. Not really sure when this came out. It says Release Radar, so is this a new album that they released? Nice feel. Nice feel to that song. I gotta say, when Seven Dust came out, they were one of my favorite bands. They have such an amazing feel to their music, and the singing and the chorus and all of that stuff that they have was amazing. The song is called Lung by Getter. Let's go up 30 seconds. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. True Voice of Reason mentions, and I'm saying it even though it's on screen. I'm used to doing that because the live chat on the phone sometimes doesn't have the chat included, so I read it out. Seven Dust made the list. The algo is reaching back. Now I don't know if it's reaching back or like when this album came out. So let me look at the album. No, 2026. This is a new album. So yeah, it was just released May 1st, 2026. So this is a new album for Seven Dust. So the algorithm's not actually reaching back. It's actually showing me something that's brand new. Like within 8 days of being launched, it's on this list. That's what this list is for, essentially. So yeah, pretty cool to see that. And this is exactly why I do this show. Really? Didn't know. And I didn't know either. So coming to my algorithm curated playlist to find new music is very successful. This is exactly why I'm here on these days to share it with my friends, because who knows, right? We don't know. And finding out this way is actually pretty cool. You're right. So I appreciate everybody being here for that. Mafra, the female metal vocalist with her band, probably not her name, but
Cut down the altar!
I think we listened to some of this last week. Fast forward a minute.
Escalate the fire is cold, there I go. This could all be yours. Feel the weight of my life.
Oh, that's the same song I played last time. That's not cool. But this one also sounds like something that I played last week. This one, Go Go Penguins, got completely blocked. Korn I played. That's interesting. I don't remember this one though. An unironic name. The song, the name of the song is Trudge, as in trudge through the mud. And that's exactly what this song sounds like, trudging through the mud. Aggressive metal. Time shifting there. Interesting. Sepultura's on my list. Sacred Book. Sepultura album Cloud of Unknowing is an EP released April 24th, 2026. So that's only a couple of weeks old as well. So this algorithm is right on point sharing these songs. Sounds very progressive. I think we heard that one before. Bensley, I think I remember. This remix was definitely on that list. And then Alexis French was also blocked sort of on my list. So I'm not going to really play those. Seems like I've come to the end of that. And that was pretty cool given the fact that, you know, I heard some of these songs before. Interesting. The release radar is not showing me as much new stuff as I thought it should be. But yeah, that's basically the show. So thanks for hanging out today. To keep this one a little bit shorter than an hour. The kit speakers won't be ready to assemble until probably tomorrow. I'm going to spend some time just prepping them and putting them back together. I need to pre-drill holes, be careful about how it gets wired together. I might have to prep a little bit around the wiring inside, making sure it's secured. Put the foam inside. I have some batting I have to put inside for sound dampening. Make sure everything fits. Now that it's painted, the components might not fit right, so I have to sand and paint, make sure that everything is smooth. Give them a once over. Probably listen to them privately for a little while until I get everything sorted. Then I can play like a demo versus other products. And like I've said, I've got up to 6 different bookshelves here. So I'm going to be able to like A/B compare them against everything else. And what I'm going to do in the video is I'm just going to change the speaker, but I don't want anybody to know what's playing. Okay, fair. I'm going to do a blind audio test with the new microphones that I have. And then I want everybody that watches the video to take a guess, share the video, and ask somebody else to take a guess. I'll list what I'm playing. I'll list the number of the model and the type of speaker that I'm playing. And I just want people to guess which one's which. It'll be 1 through 6, and you just put one of them in the order. The same way we used to just line up like, this speaker goes over here and this is in this order. And, like those things we used to do in middle school. I think that'll be kind of fun. So anyways, I'm out of here for now. Thank you for hanging out with me. If there's anything on your mind, leave it in the comments. If you want to see the beginning video, I'm going to make a clip now and load it online, so it'll be in the video section. And yeah, just like that, I'm out of here. Have a great evening. Enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all. Pixel and True Voice have been here for the duration. Everybody else sort of like in and out today, but that's cool. Also, if you're a big fan of comedy, please check out the substantial amount of material that's being produced this week from the Netflix is a Joke Festival. There have been so many shows, postings, and videos of comedians, stand-up comics together making shows and content and videos. The roast of Kevin Hart is on tomorrow night. I think that'll be one of the funniest things that people have seen in a long, long time. The roast of Tom Brady went over well, so I think I mean I am literally going to have a bucket beside me and a towel because I feel like I'm going to be laughing till I cry or until I throw up. And both of those in terms of comedy are acceptable because laughter isn't a medicine. Music is a medicine, and I'm here for both of it. My channel on Instagram is full of funny stuff as well as music, so let's go for it. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Thank you.